And we're good.
And action. Off we go. Welcome to Here's Your Freaking Podcast with the JLNKShow. As always, thank you for being a part of the podcast. Don't forget you can stay up to date all things JLNK. It's real easy. Just head over to JLNKShow.com. Coming up on the podcast today, a lot of stuff about what it's like to be single in America now. I don't want to ruin anything for you, but it appears to be freaking hard.
Terrible.
We also got a crazy sexual battery story from the Salt Lake City airport. We'll talk about some adult adult novelty stores burning down. Got a new condom on the market that I guess if you order this in front of the lady, she's going to be very, very surprised and pleased with your purchase. And we'll find out everything we need to know about pubic hair wigs for both men and women. We'll take a look at that there towards the end of the podcast. Let's start right about here. One of the hardest things about being a young man and dating was what? What was the most difficult thing about dating?
Making the initial first steps of saying, like, hello.
Paying for it.
Oh.
Paying for it was the most difficult thing, right? Because when you're a young man, you will way overspend, go way outside the bounds of how much money you have, and then how much money you don't have, right? And you don't factor in the fact that this is all the money that I have. This money has to last me for the next week. I have to get through this money.
I always knew that as backup, I had a credit card with a $350 limit in case things went off the rails.
You would get paid on Friday. You would go on a date on Friday night, and then all the money that was in your pocket, you would try to unload on that Friday, and then you would have to somehow figure out a way to make it last for the next 6 days.
Yep.
Because you spend it all on a young lady. Half of all men say, half of all men these days say that they go into debt to pay for dates. How many women say they do the same?
None.
28% of women, almost 1 out of 3.
Wow.
Dates end up being very expensive, right? Depending on what you want to do. You want to go out for dinner. You want to go out for drinks. Do you want to keep it like high school and maybe just go see a movie and then get a drink afterwards? I don't know.
Do you think it would be a lot less stressful if we were all up front? We're like, look, I have $100 to have fun tonight. And once we're done having $100 worth of fun, the night's over.
Let's put our heads together. What can we do for the maximum amount of fun for $100? We could buy... maybe we could buy some Tanqueray and condoms.
That's definitely less than $100.
That's a good, and then I still have money left over for tomorrow.
I thought you went for gin and intercourse.
I figured
gin, Tanqueray.
What is she most likely to do it with?
Gin.
I could buy you a bottle of white wine, or I could buy you some gin.
Yes, one handle of Tanqueray and some rubbers, please.
That'll be $17.
Yep.
You're like, thank God, man. I have $83 left to spend tomorrow night when we get Tanqueray and condoms.
Is Tanqueray even a good gin?
No, it's terrible.
Snoop Dogg is the only reason any of us knew about Tanqueray back in the day, and I'm like, I guess that's a good gin.
I don't know if it's a good... All gin, in my opinion, is bad gin, but I think Tanqueray is supposed to be like a good... At least back in the olden days, it was considered to be a good gin. I know it was always in the liquor cabinet at my house growing up.
I think it looks fancy because the Tanqueray is written in like fancy cursive.
Right.
You're like, oh, Tanqueray, it's classy.
Dates end up becoming very seriously expensive sometimes, depending on what you decide to do. So guys feel the pressure that, right, we have to cover the cost of the date. Oh, this should come as a surprise to no one. This number might even be low. If half of all men admit that they go into debt to pay for dates, just over half of all American men say that they exaggerate their financial success on a first date, which means that makes them more likely to overspend on the date, right? Because they've talked about, oh, yeah, I'm printing money out here. I'm rolling. Yep. I got that bag. Well, that bag is actually sitting across from you at the table, ladies. But now he has a reputation that he has to live up to now because he's convinced you that he's flush.
See, I could keep that ruse up until they saw my car or went back to my place, and then everything just falls the fuck apart. You do not make any money. I know.
Speaking of first dates, speaking of money, the goal of the first date is what? To get to know somebody better. The goal of the first date is also to try to talk that person that is sitting across from you into liking you, right?
All I got to do is sell her on date number 2.
Mm-hmm. and then date number 3, and then hopefully date number 4. And I hope I put enough bullshit forward that she buys into whatever the person I tell you I am. Asking the right questions, obviously, will help you find out who the person is across from you, right?
Right.
What questions do you never ask on a first date? Not all questions are the same, but asking the wrong ones, obviously, they're going to get a terrible first impression of you, and there ain't going to be a second date.
Do you like gin?
First one right off the bat. How much money do you make?
Yeah, that's awkward.
Part of me is curious.
Although, because at some point in a relationship, she's going to need to know, but what is that point?
When you decide that you're going to be a team. I mean, you can date and you can be exclusive and you can do whatever, but at some point when there's a real, long-time commitment, that's when you need to start figuring that out.
I think at some point, I always played the game where I won't need to say it because by that point, she'll kind of understand where it's sort of at.
And she's still guessing too high. It's still lower than that.
I don't know. He's probably pulling about $28,000, $29,000 a year.
I would like almost to go on a first date just so I could ask some of these questions. I would love to sit across the table from a lady and say, so, ballpark, what do you make?
Would you have ever thought of asking the woman? Let's say
no.
at any point in the first 2 years,
No.
I'd say. So what are you pulling down?
So ballpark it. I mean, I don't have to see any W-2s or anything, but what do you think you're pulling down a year? What do you think you're making? What are you going to do in 2025? How much money do you think? I would like to see, one, the shocked reaction, but I'm also curious to see if someone would answer the question. She's like, I don't know, 80, 85, maybe 90. Questions you never ask on a first date.
I dated a girl for a while in my early mid-20s, and I remember she said something about her taxes, and I helped her with some tax form, and it was like she made $16,000 a year working part-time, but then I had to go home and square that with the fact that she also had a brand new car and an apartment.
Where's this money coming from?
It didn't dawn on me that mom and dad were paying for all of this, but I just thought, well, am I really that bad with money that I don't have these things and I make $3,000 more than she does?
She's making $16,000 a year work for her. Why can't I?
Yeah.
Why are you still single? Yeah, I wouldn't ask that question because I'm afraid of the answer. I'm afraid the answer could be something terrible, right?
Yeah. I am a handful.
I tried to kill my last boyfriend. You tell a lot of people this? Yeah, that's why I'm single. Yeah, everybody knows.
My next question would be, well, how'd you try?
Did you slowly poison him?
Because I could take you.
Did he see it coming, or was it sneakily quiet, like you were grinding up glass and putting it in his food, like in The Sopranos? I mean, if it's something that you see coming, then, I could dismiss it easier than that. I got upset. I went to the garage. I got a hatchet. I'm like, all right, I can see a fucking hatchet coming at me, 10 feet away. I can formulate a plan. I don't know if I'm eating ground up IKEA glasses.
Oh, Rob says she can meet my bank account after I meet her parents. So about that time in the relationship.
Wow, that's a lot sooner than I would. Hey, good for you.
I think my wife and I were married 4 years before I finally slipped up. I was like, what? I'm poor. She already knew.
Questions you don't ask on a first date. Do you want kids? And how soon? I think it's fine to ask if you want kids. I don't think it's cool to ask how soon. She's like, I was hoping to try tonight. You're like, ooh.
But if you're also dating, if you're single later, in your late 30s and that time's a ticking, you want to know. You want to be upfront and say, hey, I need this to happen soon. You could say, well, you mean tonight?
You could really frame the question by saying, why don't you have kids?
Because tube socks don't have ovaries. Next question.
What was your last relationship like? Yeah, there is no reason to talk about previous relationships on a first date. Questions to ask on a first date. Am I your type?
I mean, you'd have to be at least somewhat their type if you're going on a date with them, right?
You would think so.
Have you ever been on a date with a woman and be like, this is not going to work. I know it. No, you wouldn't do that.
Who are you voting for? Or who did you vote for?
I mean, hey, that could go one of two ways. You and me were the same,
right.
or
these
rabble.
Yeah. Do you believe in marriage? Questions you don't ask on a first date. You believe in marriage? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe, I guess. Questions not asked on a first date. When you're on the first date, do you want to split the bill? You want to split this? No, this is terrible timing.
How do you ask if you're going to split it?
You have to ask ahead of time. You need to ask before the date. I don't know how you would do it. You're like, hey,
halvesies?
Yeah, we're a little bit unsure about each other. Obviously you can tell I'm a little apprehensive. You're a lot apprehensive. You want to go Dutch on this date?
Do you want to go Dutch?
I don't know how you set it up.
Is that racist?
I just know that are the Dutch cheap?
Is this like one of those things you're not allowed to say anymore?
I don't know. I have no idea. Can we not say Dutch rudder anymore? Like if you're jerking your buddy, what are you supposed to call it now?
You're like, I give you a little rudder.
Right, you give me a little pull, I give you a little pull, but we can't call it a Dutch rudder anymore. I don't know. Questions you're not supposed to ask on the first date. I get this one. Are you seeing anyone else right now? Remember, it's a first date. You're not exclusive.
I've been writing your name and my last name in the notebook for weeks.
Right. I mean, it is going to put a damper on a date if you're like, are you seeing anybody else? I mean, you like to hope that maybe, but the honest answer is, even if they are dating someone else right now or,
I don't know.
Seeing someone else, it's not your fucking business because you're brand new, right? You don't get to ask that question.
I don't even think in all my history, all my many, many years in relationships that I ever had to have are we, okay, so we're not dating anybody, right? I think it just became understood, at least for me.
Was it?
I don't know. You know what? Now I'm rethinking all of it. Maybe it was for me.
Son of a bitch, I never thought to ask.
She's out there having all kinds of fun.
That's why I got tricked. I didn't think to ask. And this is the last one. Questions you never asked.
I also never took advantage. I could have been out there having all kinds of fun. Was that wrong?
How do you think this date is going so far? Oh.
That's bad because if you get an answer to the negative, then what are you supposed to say? Well, how can I turn this around for you?
It's like asking, are you seeing anybody else right now? I mean, if the answer yes, then here comes the storm cloud over the date.
Yeah.
You can also say, how do you think this date is going? And she's like, it's going good.
Plus, if you're dating somebody else, what's the follow-up question? Well, who? Who are they? Are they cooler than me?
Right. But again, that just invites that dark cloud that rolls over the date, and one of you is being honest, and now the other one is fucking bummed.
I don't know if this is even true, but Nathan chimes in on YouTube and says that Dutch farmers in Kalamazoo are famously cheap.
That seems very specific.
Sir, Nathan, are you talking about one person individually?
It sounds like he's upset with someone.
You guys, Rob does chime in. According to a 3-year-old Reddit post, the Dutch are split down the middle on the phrase going Dutch.
So they're going Dutch on the going Dutch, right?
I don't know. We'll have to consult. Who do we even ask? Is that racist? Are we allowed to say that anymore?
If you're Dutch, we only want to hear from you.
So the Vans, the Vons, go ahead.
Top dating trends if you're single. Are things looking better for you next year? The top dating trends for 2026. Here we go. They call it chemistry. Riz. Emphasis on the Riz.
Chemistry.
Catching unexpected chemistry with someone you didn't think you were into because they have undeniable charisma. They say 25% of singles have felt this. Proving attraction isn't always, love at first sight. Basically, you wear someone down, and then eventually they see the cute and the clever in you, and they decide that you're the one.
That was my whole game back in the day.
Just grind them down until they're too old to date somebody great.
Yeah.
All you have to do is date them long enough to outlast their looks, and then you're gold, pony. They call it love luring. Dating for the plot means saying yes to experiences. A third of us have gone on a date to see what would happen, and half are looking for love through new shared experiences. I don't even know what that means.
That might be you're dating for the sake of how you met or what your backstory would be.
No.
Like if you met because your elevator got stuck, and you're like, hey, you want to go out on a date? And you're like, funny story how we met.
Mm-hmm. Curveball crushing, one of the big trends for us, 2026. This is a connection with someone outside your usual type. 42% of singles said that they've had luck dating somebody that they thought they would never date. True casting. Forgetting the filters and getting real. 1 in 4 singles say they show up as their true, authentic self on a very first date.
All right, the count of 3, we're both going to say our favorite slur. 1, 2, 3.
One out of 4 singles say they show up as their true, authentic self. That means 75% of people are showing up as someone else.
Well, I mean, there's first date, Warren and Jason, and there's 10th date. I try to be on my best behavior that first outing.
By the 10th, you're like, I got this. I got this locked down. I'm good.
Time for her to meet 9-beer Warren.
Status flexing. According to dating experts, situationships are out and defining a relationship is in. Now singles are proudly labeling their status, whether they're casually dating, agreeing to be exclusive, or full-on boyfriend-girlfriend. Isn't boyfriend-girlfriend the same as being exclusive?
Well, if you were to bring a woman in here that you were just casually dating and you introduced me to her, wouldn't you just tell me her name instead of giving me her name and her rank with you? Like, this is Denise, we're casually dating. You're
I think it's weird that they differentiate between being boyfriend and girlfriend and being exclusive. I think that's what I'm having a hard time with. I think if you've agreed to be exclusive, then you've just said, yes, we are now boyfriend and girlfriend, right? You're not dating anybody? No. Anybody else? No. You? No. No. Well, that means we're boyfriend and girlfriend now.
Well, I don't want to put a label on it.
This is a funny story. I mean, it's another fight in the goddamn airport. Rotten behavior right on an airplane. Unprecedented. Everybody thinks they're somebody once they're on an airplane for some reason. So everybody gets real uppity. I shouldn't say everybody. Some people decide to take advantage of the fact that they think they're the main character on every plane.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if something costs somebody $1,000 for a ticket, all of a sudden there's an entitlement that goes along with it, even though the other 250 people paid the same $1,000 to get on that same plane. Well, you have some people that think they're entitled to do some crazy stuff. A flight from Salt Lake City to Portland. Woman allegedly refused to move from the aisle of the airplane after being directed to do so many times by a flight member.
Hey, Salt Lake City to Portland, what is it, like an hour and 25 minutes?
Can't be that long. 2 hours, maybe? Woman finally got out of the aisle. She reportedly chucked a Delta employee into a seat with her shoulder. Oh, so she's moving. She like, she gives him the Hanson brother move, right? The pilot booted the woman off the plane, where she made a run for it as she was being escorted off. Employees stopped her from running. She's being accused of grabbing one of the Delta employees by the neck, pushing her to the ground and pulling her hair.
Also, where do you think you're going to run? It's a fucking airport.
Yeah, well, she's running up that tunnel. She's hoping to make it to the gate to bust out.
Yeah.
And that's where she was. She was at the gate. She was ready to bust out, bust free. After she had pushed the woman to the ground and was pulling her hair, she allegedly released her grip on the employee, walked away, walked back to her, grabbed one of her boobs, and said, "If I ever find you alone, bitch."
Ooh.
Does anybody else find the grabbing the boob?
That's hot.
Grab
onto a titty and say, if she, you know what? You don't know what her inflection was. She could have said, "Ooh, if I ever find you alone," like she's gonna fuck her or something.
Give
like
her
that.
the business.
Yeah.
From there, she then made another run for it. She was later found by police in the airport trying to book another flight. Documents show that the woman denied assaulting anybody, but she did admit to being drunk earlier that morning.
Yep.
A 48-year-old man has been arrested for setting fire to 2 adult novelty shops in the state of Washington.
Just the smell of burning DVD plastic and dong rubber.
They say the first fire happened at 11:44 p.m. at the Adult Airport Video. Security footage shows a man carrying a gasoline can walk into the store and dumping it on the floor, causing the fire.
It's always got to be near an airport. Why?
Here's my favorite part of the story. The flames even ignited the bottoms of his boots as he was running away. So security camera shows him, but he's got flaming shoes. Several customers. Hey, here's where you don't ever want to be attached. There were several customers in the building in the.
Can I put you down as a witness? You fucking cannot.
In the adult theater section of the store.
Oh, so they were busy.
Yeah.
They were having some fun.
2 hours later, the same man set fire to the door at the Love Zone. While the owner was in the back office, police found him at the nearby the Value Village parking lot. He didn't come out peacefully. He threw a metal object at police and then tried to run. He was arrested on charges including 2 counts of arson, burglary, and resisting arrest.
What was he just against was it a moral thing or was he just upset?
I don't know.
Fuck.
Here's the condoms you want to order, right? If condoms past dictate anything. When you go in to buy rubbers, you want to buy the Maxim rubbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to buy the biggest rubber they got to impress your date. How about this? Trojan Condoms have now introduced a brand new line of rubbers. It is the GOAT line.
Oh, the greatest of all time.
The greatest of all Trojans.
Ooh.
Company's brand new non-latex condom, the GOAT. Yeah, I'll take a pack of goats, please. See, that sounds pretty good. Odorless Ultraflex technology, along with other on-latex materials that provide a more intimate feel. It's perfect for couples who have a latex allergy. Okay.
I always do laugh that there are dozens of condom brands, but if I were a woman and somebody didn't spend name brand condom money on me, I'd be offended, wouldn't you?
If he's coming at you with a gas station rubber?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you put 2 quarters together and pressed it into the machine and this is what you got?
One of those Rough Riders studded condoms?
Yeah.
I would be offended. I'd say, oh, I'm not good enough for the full boat $3.29 pack of Trojans.
You couldn't grab the GOAT, the greatest of all Trojans?
Mm-hmm.
Here, we'll wrap on this because I don't understand it. Russian women reportedly paying up to about $250 for tiny wigs that they glue to their pubic area for a more natural look inspired by the 1990s.
We all learned back in the day that a pubic wig was called a merkin, right?
Right. According to Russian media, the popularity of pubic hair wigs has skyrocketed in recent months, inspired by the naturalness trend that is sweeping Russia.
But it's not like a toupee for men where things get down to business and it might fall off or shift.
You pull it off, it's Velcro.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know what holds this shit on.
This pussy's bald.
Women and men are flocking to online stores and marketplaces to look for realistic pubic wigs.
What does one of these cost you?
Why would it said $250? So, I don't know why anybody anywhere would need such a bizarre accessory, but the answer, I guess, is pretty simple. Most users want to adhere to a natural look down in their nether regions, inspired by the 90s era, which I believe the 90s era was what? Just a landing strip, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what was popular back then.
Oh, yeah, that was a big deal when you were a young man. Oh, the landing strip.
They do that because it says they want to go back. They don't really want to grow out their own hair for multiple reasons. I don't know what these multiple reasons are. So some have opted for permanent hair removal. Oh, so they can't get it back. Okay.
Yeah, somebody who I think on the YouTube stream should remain nameless. Yes, a lot of models in that part of the country get their genitals lasered bald.
And then they're like, oh, no, that is kind of a good look. Maybe I want that now, but you can't, right?
No, can't go back.
Others just don't want to have to deal with the itchiness of growing, their hair back out. So the wigs are a perfect solution. Oh, my God. Besides the wigs, some men and women are getting pubic hair extensions.
Uber Geek Gabe does want to know, wait, just so we're clear, we're talking about pubic hair wigs for your over your pork and beans, not on your head.
No, not on your head.
I want that nice, curly, wiry, gross hair.
Do you
on top
walk
of
around
my
like Screech from Saved by the Bell? In order to get pubic hair extensions, that'll cost you between $7 and $61. 61 obviously being the nice pubic hair extensions. Some women choose accessories made from natural materials for the full-on, wig. That's $245. Special adhesives are used for attachments, according to manufacturers, all safe for the skin and mucous membranes.
Isn't that it just seems like a huge pain in the ass?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any guy's going to pull down a pair of panties and say, oh, no.
Right. So if she asks you if she can leave the lights on, it's because she wants you to be impressed. So make sure that you mention something about, you're like, boy, that is some bush you got there.
You guys,
She wants you to know that she's got it because she paid for it.
I'm a hairy troll. I've never even considered somebody would want the hair. I don't know. I don't think any woman's been like, I wish this guy had a huge mat of gross, smelly pubes.
Yeah. I wish it was like a baby bird poking out from the nest. And no woman has ever said that before. There you go. There's the podcast for this week.
Yuck.
It's like,
gross.
feed the worm a worm. Give it something. Put a beetle in it. There's a podcast for this week. As always, thank you for taking time out of your day. I know your time is valuable, and we probably just fucking pissed some of it away, but we're happy to do so. So thanks again. Oh, don't forget, you can always stay up to date. All things JLNK by heading over to JLNKShow.com. We'll see you next Tuesday.